Hello friends, welcome to your channel ABC Health. I am your host and your friend Nishant in your journey towards good health. Today we are going to talk about a really important subject which is often ignored, and that is the importance of a good sleep. Now, have you ever felt that you have not rested enough or you feel not refreshed enough after an adequate number of hours of sleep? Or if you have ever felt that you are lethargic when you wake up in the morning, sometimes you might tend to sleep more during the weekends or the days off, or sometimes during the day just by itself you feel tired or sleepy, then there's a really good chance that you are probably not getting enough sleep. Research has shown that sleeping well is as important as eating healthy food, exercising properly, and therefore, good sleep is often referred to as the third pillar of good health. Its benefits are often underestimated, and most people feel that they have a good quality and a good quantity of sleep despite the fact that they actually don't. And this has happened to me as well. So, how do you know that you are someone that is likely to have slept less? If you are someone who has been working for long hours, someone who spends more time on computers and screens, sitting all the day, feeling stressed, or have anxiety, someone who has got blood pressure, someone who travels a lot from and to work, and then all of this put together increase your likelihood or the chances that you are not sleeping well enough. Now, before I go ahead, please make sure that you stay on until the end of the video, because this information and the tips that I'm going to share with you in this video can have life-changing benefits on your health. Most of us are aware about the physical benefits of a good sleep, which is things like increased energy levels or increased productivity. Some of us are also aware about the psychological benefits of a good sleep. So things like improved alertness, increased concentration, improved memory, improved mood, less anger, less anxiety. However, these are the known or visible benefits of a good sleep. What a lot of us do not know are the hidden benefits on overall health that we have with a proper sleep. Sleep is a mechanism of the body to help repair, regenerate, and recover itself. When we don't get adequate sleep, the cells of our body release harmful inflammatory chemicals that in fact impair the ability of the body to fight diseases, which is called the immunity. And when we are able to get a good night's sleep, then because the body is able to recover, the release of these inflammatory mediators or chemicals is reduced, and therefore the immunity is not compromised and you are able to fight diseases. This is really important in today's times when we are having pandemics like COVID. If you are with me in this video so far and you are enjoying it, please make sure that you click on the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't, so that I can reach to you with more of such content on good health. Also, you can feel free to share this with your friends and family so that they can benefit. And it'll be good if you can type in the comments section as to how much sleep you get on a day-to-day basis and what your sleep pattern is. Is that regular or would you like to improve it? So I'd love to have your comments in the comment section. When we are awake, our brain releases a hormone called ghrelin, which is the hormone basically responsible for producing hunger. And that is because when we are awake, we need more energy, and the brain has to satisfy the body's energy needs by releasing this hormone. Now, when we have lack of sleep, this increases the number of hours that we are awake. And the tendency to eat more is much higher because the brain keeps releasing the hormone ghrelin, because of which we tend to eat a lot more. What happens then is we tend to gain more weight and generally tend to put on more weight and become obese. We don't normally notice this in a short period of time, but over longer periods of time where we don't sleep well, this adds up and increases the risk of obesity. Our brain regulates our body so that it works in a wave-like fashion or in a cyclical fashion, which is called the circadian rhythm, or simply to say, the body's own clock. Now, when we don't sleep well, or if there are altered sleep times, then that disturbs the natural rhythm of the body and the natural clock of the body, which means that the ability of the brain and the body to control important functions like blood pressure, digestion, blood glucose levels, they all get altered. So, for example, there is an increased risk of blood pressure and cardiovascular disorders for people who don't get adequate sleep over a long term because of the disturbance in the circadian rhythm and because of how the brain controls the blood pressure overall. Another important hormone that controls the blood sugar levels, which is the insulin. The release of insulin is also altered when people don't get adequate sleep or sleep at different times. Because of this, the balance of or the control of blood glucose level is altered, and for those patients or people that are diabetes, that could be quite harmful. And even for people who don't have diabetes, they can have an increased risk of developing diabetes over time. Lack of sleep results in tiredness, which often causes the feeling of anxiety or frustration or anger that we generally don't realize during our normal life. And therefore, inadequate sleep can also reduce social and emotional intelligence and the ability of people to comprehend as to what they are doing and how they are reacting. This often disturbs interpersonal relationships, and this is something that we never consider as a problem which is sort of associated with lack of sleep. Lack of sleep reduces the ability of the brain to release certain neurotransmitters that are important for regulating our mood. This results ultimately in psychological conditions like depression and anxiety, which a lot of people don't accept that they have as a part of their behavior, but often unknowingly we have these problems and they are generally associated with a lack of sleep. Most guidelines and studies suggest that around 8 to 10 hours of sleep is enough for people who are in the teens or young adulthood, and generally for adults, somewhere between 6 to 8 or ideally 7 to 8 hours is ideal or optimal for the body. A good way to know that you're having adequate sleep and you are also having a sleep at the right time and your sleep pattern is correct is to use smart apps or smart watches. So if you have got an Android phone, as simple as something like a Samsung Health app, which is something that I often use, will give you an indication as to how much you are sleeping, when you are sleeping every day, and you can look at your weekly sleep patterns if there is any abnormality or if there are any differences, which will help you correct these issues. Knowing that we need a good night's sleep is important. But what is more important is the ability to get a good night's sleep. And that is not just in terms of the quantity of the sleep, but also in terms of the quality of the sleep. So now what I'm going to share with you are some useful handy tips that will help you get both a good quantity and a good quality of sleep. The thing here to remember is that consistency is very, very important. The reason why sleep patterns are called patterns is because they are being followed for a long period of time. So you need to do this every day of your life. If there is one thing that our body clock enjoys, that is routine. By going to bed at the same time each night and by waking up almost at the same time every morning, we provide our body with a reliable schedule, which is really important. So the key here is to make sure that you sleep and get up every day of the week at the same time. This could also mean some sacrifices, so you might have to avoid late nights during weekends and make sure that you try and sleep as close as possible to your routine time. It's very difficult to go to sleep when our body and our mind are simulated. Therefore, it's important that we calm down our body and the mind before we actually head to bed. This could be as simple as doing something which is a calming activity like reading a book in dim light, or for example listening to a music or a calming music that settles you down and calms the mind, and also to make sure that we are not looking at our mobile devices or television at least 1 hour before our sleep time. This is really important because the light from these devices, particularly mobile phones, which is the blue light as it is called, is particularly harmful as it stimulates the brain and produces the release of melatonin, which is a hormone that the brain secretes in order for us to be able to go to sleep. And when we have a lot of these blue light, we are just not able to sleep because of that. And it signals the brain to sort of stay awake and shift the body clock further down. As little as only 10 minutes of aerobic exercise such as walking, running, jogging, cycling or swimming can have a fantastic impact on the sleep quality, especially when it comes to the quantity and the duration of our sleep. The exercise has an advantage that it also packs a double bonus and reduces the risk of disorders like sleep apnea, which kind of breathlessness when we are sleeping, and things like busy leg syndrome because the body is really tired, so you're sort of going in a relaxed mode. It's important that we make sure that we don't exercise 2 or 3 hours before sleeping, because otherwise the body would be stimulated and not in a sleep mode. It's a no-brainer that we should try and avoid or limit alcohol, coffee, tea, cigarettes, and heavy meals in the evening. And the reason for that is that these things are stimulants and are sleep disruptors. So basically, they harm the ability of the brain to go in a calming mode. Ideally, large meals should be consumed at least 2 or 3 hours before sleeping. There are plenty of things we can do to improve the physical environment in which we go to sleep. So besides making your room dark, dimming the lights, it's also useful to have curtains that are in cool colors, so in the shades of grays or blues. Also make sure that the temperature of the room is ideal, and an ideal temperature generally is between 15 to 20 degrees, 18 degrees being optimal. And this could be done with the use of a fan or air conditioner if you can afford it. To give a soothing effect to your room, you can also use air fresheners. Some people generally don't like air fresheners themselves. The other alternative to that is using essential oils or incandescent sticks, and just soft music in general. On the bed, try and use natural cotton fibers that are giving a lot more breathability and airflow. And importantly, make sure that you have comfortable pillows. You don't need to spend on extraordinarily expensive pillows, but they should be at least comfortable in general. And a good idea is to replace the mattresses every 6 to 7 years so that you are in a comfortable sleeping position. So friends, I hope after this video you have got an idea around what a good sleep is, how important it is, and what you can do to get a good sleep. Now, if there is anything that you can do to improve that will be the biggest reward that I can get out of making these videos. So thanks a lot for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.